स्टार्ट कीजिए मैम आप।
Okay, today I will discuss the topic make your own magnet. So how can you make your own magnet? With the help of bar iron fillings as shown in the figure 13.11. So there are several methods of making magnet. First is shown in the figure 13.11. So let us learn the simplest one. So what is the method for making our magnet? So we can make our magnet with the help of rectangular piece of iron. So with the help of rectangular piece of iron, we can make our own magnet. So as shown in the figure 13.11, if we take a bar magnet and then we take this iron bar as shown in the figure 13.11. Now take a bar magnet and place one of its pole near one edge of the bar of iron. So firstly, we will take an iron bar and then we will take a bar magnet as shown in the figure. Without lifting the bar magnet, move it along the length of the iron bar till you reach the other end. So then we will put these bar magnet over the length of the iron bar until you reach the other end. Now lift the iron bar and bring the pole to the same point of the iron bar from which you begin. So firstly, we are taking a bar magnet, and second, we are taking a iron material as shown in the figure. Then we are lifting these magnets along the length of the iron bar. So firstly, we will put these bar magnet on an iron bar, and then we will bring these bar magnets on the another end. Now lift the magnet and bring the pole to the same point of the iron bar from which you begin. जहां से हमने मैग्नेट को रब करना स्टार्ट किया था, वहां से ही हम रब करते हुए दूसरे एंड तक जाएंगे, फिर दूसरे एंड से फिर दोबारा स्टार्टिंग पॉइंट पे आएंगे. And we have to repeat this process about 30 to 40 times. And we can use this method to 30 to 40 times. Now this iron bar becomes a bar magnet. Then this iron bar becomes a magnet. And how can we check it is a magnet? If we take a pin or some iron filling near the iron bar, then it becomes a magnet. Then it becomes a magnet. If not, continue this process for some more time. Remember that the pole of the magnet and the direction of its movement should not change. So how can we make your own magnet? We can make our own magnet with the help of two things. Which two things are required to make our own magnet? First is iron bar. Second is this bar magnet. And how can we make these magnets? Then we will rub the magnet from one end to another end of the iron bar, and we will repeat this process about 30 to 40 times. Then if we do this 30 to 40 times, then this iron bar becomes a magnet. And how can we check this is a magnet? So if we took some iron filling to this iron bar, then this attracts the magnet. If it not, continues the process for some more time. If magnet not becomes, we can repeat this process up to 50 to 60 times. And after some time, the iron bar becomes magnet. Remember that the pole of the magnet and the direction of its movement should not change. So if we are making our own magnet, we remember one thing. Which thing you have to remember? Pole of the magnet and direction of movement should not change. Pole of the magnet and the direction of movement should not change. And you can also use an iron nail, or you can use an iron needle or blade to convert them into a magnet. So how can you make your own magnet? We can make our own magnet with the help of two things. First is bar magnet and second is iron bar. So which two things are required to make our own magnet? First is iron bar and first is iron bar and second is bar magnet. Then we will rub the magnet on the iron bar about 30 to 40 times from one end to the another. So you have to remember one thing, that the direction of movement of the magnet and the poles of the magnet should not change. Then these iron bar becomes a magnet. And we can also do this process for the iron nails, or we can do this also process for the needle. And we can also convert iron nail and needle into magnet with the help of this process. And if after rubbing to 30 to 40 times, if it is not converting into magnet, then we can also proceed this to 50 to 60 times. Then after this, iron bar converts into magnet. हम मैग्नेट कैसे बनाते हैं? आयरन बार के ऊपर मैग्नेट को बार बार रब करते हैं, और रब करने से 30 to 40 टाइम्स बार रब करने से आयरन बार जो है हमारा मैग्नेट बन जाता है. And next is, how can you make your own compass? In activity 5, what we have studied, the making of your own magnet. And in activity 6, we are discussing how can we make our own compass. So magnetize an iron nail using a bar magnet. Now insert the magnetized needle through a small piece of cork or foam. So we are taking an iron needle, and if we are magnetizing an iron needle using a bar magnet as shown in the figure. So what we are doing in this activity 6, we are making our own compass. So this is very important topic. How can we make our own compass in a cup? So how can we make our own compass? So first procedure is magnetize an iron needle using a bar magnet. So firstly, we will take an iron needle. Then we will convert this iron needle into magnet with the help of bar magnet. Now insert the magnetized needle through a small piece of cork or foam. Then we will put this magnetized needle into the small piece of cork as shown in the figure. This is a cork in which north and south direction is shown. This is a cork. This brown color material is a cork. So this is a cork, and it is also available in our lab. It can be made up of wood, or it can be made up of rubber material. So this is a cork which we have shown. This is a cork. This is also available in our lab. So this is a cork which we used for making our own compass. So we are taking an iron needle and we are putting these magnetized iron needle into the cork. Then we will put these cork into the water as shown in the figure. And after putting these cork into the water, let the cork float in the water in a bowl or a tub. Make sure that the needle does not touch the water. So you have to remember one thing, the needle do not touch the water. Now this is your own compass. So how can you make your own compass? Three things are required to make a compass in a cup. First is needle. Second is cork. Cork is the picture shown in the brown color material. This is a cork. And then is tub or glass and water. These things are required to make a compass in a cup. So how can you make compass in a cup? Firstly, you take iron needle, and then we will magnetize these iron needle with the help of bar magnet. So with the help of these bar magnet, we will magnetize this needle, and then we will put this magnetized needle into the cork. And you have to remember, then these will float into the water and the needle should not touch the water. So needles should not touch into the water. So this compass is now ready to work. So this is a compass. So how it works? Make a note of the direction in which the needle points when the cork is floating. If the cork brown color material as shown in the figure 13.12, if it floats into the water, make a note of the direction. So you have to note down the direction in which needle are moving. And then we have to rotate the cork with the needle fixed on it in different direction. So you have to note down the direction in which the needle points when the cork begins to float. Does the needle always point in the same direction? Yes. So firstly, we will make your own compass in a cup. How can you make your own compass in a cup? Which things are required to make your own compass in a cup? First is cork, and second is tub or glass. Third is magnetized iron nail, and fourth is water. So you will take an iron needle, and then we will magnetize this iron needle, and after these you have to magnetize this iron needle and you have to put these in the cork. And after these, you have to put these cork into the water. And this is a compass in a cup. So this is a compass in a cup. And if we rotate these cork, then it will also comes into rest in north-south direction. So you have to rotate the cork in different direction and you have to note the direction in which needle points. So this is a compass in a cup. So this is a compass in a cup and you have to note down the direction in which they are moving. So this is a compass in a cup. Next is attraction and repulsion between magnets. So a magnet can attract, a magnet can also repel each other. So you have to play a game. And what is that game? You have to take two small toy cars. So you have to take two small toy cars and we are labeling into A and B. And this is a toy car A and B as shown in the figure 13.13. So this is the toy car A and this is toy car B as shown in the figure 13.13. So we are taking two cars and we are placing a bar magnet on the top of car and we are fixing these bar magnet with the rubber band. So in the 13.13 we are taking two bar magnet and after putting two bar magnet on the top of the car, then we are tying these bar magnet with the end as shown in the figure. In car A, keep the south pole of the magnet towards its front. In car A, keep the south pole of the magnet towards its front. What we are doing, we are taking two toy car A and B. And then we are putting two bar magnets on the top of the car. As shown in the figure, we are putting bar magnet on the top of the car. And how we are putting these magnets? In the car A, keep the south pole of the magnet towards its front. So in car A, we are taking the south pole of the magnet to the front of the car. So red color part is north pole and blue color part is south pole. So we are taking the south pole at the front. So in car A, from the headlights, we can check which part is front and which part is back part of the car. So in the car A, so front part is headlight car and rest is back part of the car. So in car A, we are taking the south pole of the magnet towards its front. So in car A, we are taking the we are taking south pole towards the front part of the car A as shown in the figure 13.13. And what is the position of bar magnet? In car B, we are taking a north pole of the magnet towards the front of the car. So in car A at the front there is a south pole, but in car B at the front there is a north pole. Which is north pole, which is south pole? Red part is north pole and blue part is south pole. So in car B at the front there is a north pole. So now place the two cars close to each other. So we are taking two cars A and B and we are crossing these cars. So what will happen? Do the car run away from each other or they repel each other or they attract each other? As we know, in the car A on the front there is a south pole. In the car on the front there is a north pole, and north pole and south pole attracts each other. So the car A and the car B, they attract each other. Do they move always towards each other and they collide? Yes, they collide each other because they attract each other. Why they attract each other? Because the south pole of the car A and north pole of the car B, they are attracting each other. Now place the toy car close to each other's front side of the car. Unmute. Yes. So the car A and the car B, they attract each other. So why they are attracting each other? Because north and south pole, they attract each other and the car A and car B collide each other. Now place the toy car close to each other such that the rear side of the car A faces the front side of the car B. So you have to place these toy cars close to each other such that rear side means front side of the car A faces the front side of the car. A rear back part of side A faces the front side of the car B in the figure 13.14. So what is the figure 13.14? It is opposite to the 13.13. In car A, on the front there is a south pole, but in the car C also there is on the front there is a south pole, but the position of A and C is changed. How it is changed? We are reversing the car. कार A को हमने रिवर्स कर दिया, जो आगे वाला पार्ट है पीछे चला गया है, पीछे वाला पार्ट आगे चला गया. So on the front there is a headlight. So A is the reverse position. C is the reverse position of A. So C is the reverse position of A. Next, place the car A behind the car B. So what is the position D? As we have discussed in the B, and in the D, same position is there. On the front, there is a north pole. Also in the D, there is on the front, there is a north pole. So B and D is similar. So now place the toy car close to each other such that the rear side of the car faces the front side of the car B. So such that it faces, so the back side of the car A faces the front side of the car B. So back side of car A is position of C. हमने इस 13.13 फिगर में क्या इसमें चेंज करना है? जो A वाला पार्ट है, A वाले पार्ट में हमें बैक को फ्रंट करना है एंड फ्रंट को बैक करना है. और क्योंकि A की जो बैक है वो B की फ्रंट के पास आना चाहिए. Now we will move the car C and D together, and what we are observing, then in the C and D position, on the end there is a red part and this is a north pole, and on the D, on the front part, there is a north pole, and north pole they repel each other. So the car C and car D, they repel each other, but the car A and car B, they attract each other. So what is the conclusion? If opposite poles are there, north and south and north, they attract each other. And if the poles are same, north and south, then they repel each other. And this property of magnet can be observed by suspending the magnet near it and bringing one by one the poles of the magnet near it. So this is the property of a magnet. If the poles are same, then they repel each other. If the poles are different, then they attract each other. So this is a property of the magnet. So you have to remember the property.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am.
So what are the position of the cars? Front of the car A facing the front of the car B. Yes. So if the front of the car A facing the front of the car B, so what will have, they move or away, they move towards away, or they move each other or not move at all. If the front of the car A facing the front of the car B, so they attract each other, so they move towards. If the rear of the car A facing the front of the car B, so if the rear means back of the car A facing the front of the car B, they move away from each other. So you have to note down the position of the car. So they move away or they move towards each other or they move away from each other. So you have to remember these points. And next is how magnet lose their property. So magnet lose their property if they are heated. So there is a magnet 13.15 in the figure shown. In the first case, we are burning the magnet. In the second case, we are beating the magnet. And in the case 3, we are taking the magnet on the ground. We are lifting the magnet to the ground. In the first case, we are burning magnet. And in the second case, we are beating the magnet. And in the third case, we are leaving the magnet to the ground. So in the first case, also in the second case, and also in the third case, magnet lose their property, and they become they lose their magnetism. How they lose their magnetism? If we heat the magnet, if we hammer the magnet, and if we put this magnet to the ground, and they lose their magnetism. How can we save our magnet? We can save our magnet using magnetic keepers. अगर मैग्नेट को हम बर्न करते हैं, हैमर करते हैं या थ्रो करते हैं, तो मैग्नेट जो है अपना मैग्नेटिज्म लूज कर देगी और वो किसी भी चीज को अट्रैक्ट नहीं करेगी. तो इसको सेव करने के लिए हम मैग्नेटिक कीपर्स यूज करते हैं. व्हाट आर मैग्नेटिक कीपर्स? So in the 13.16, this is a magnetic keeper shown in the figure. So we are putting 2-bar magnet, and in between 2-bar magnet, you are taking wooden box, wooden material, and on the end there is a iron material. जो 2 बार मैग्नेट के बीच में वुडन बॉक्स रखेंगे और कॉर्नर पे जो है साइड पे हम आयरन बार रखेंगे. सो दिस इज कॉल्ड मैग्नेटिक कीपर. सो विद द हेल्प ऑफ मैग्नेटिक कीपर वी कैन सेव आवर मैग्नेट. सो you can save our magnet with the help of magnetic keepers. They must be separated by a piece of wood, while 2 pieces of soft iron should be placed across these ends. So what are magnetic keepers? Magnetic keepers are instruments to save the magnet such that its magnetism do not lose. So how it works? We are taking 2 irons on the end, and in between there is a piece of wood. So this is magnetic keepers. And where we use magnets? We use magnets in the television, music system. So you have to remember where we use magnets.
Excuse me.
And keep magnet away from cassettes, mobile, television, music system, CDs, and computer.
Excuse me.
So you have to remember that magnets should not be kept near cassettes, near mobile, near television, near music system, near CDs or computer.
Excuse
so you
me,
have to
Shweta ma'am.
remember. Yes.
Last 10 minutes are left, ma'am. Okay.
Okay.
It's just a
So
reminder.
if you have any query session, about this topic, you can ask. Yes, if you have any query session, yes, Love Rana. Yes, Love.